everyone. Just want to do a quick video on what I'm carrying on my bike. The reason for this is I've got some new bags to show you, but I'll do that in a separate video. I just unpacked my tail bag as well as my tank bag, and I'm going to just show you really quickly what I carry on my bike every day, or at least most days that I'm riding. So just real fast to go through these. This is the Rebel by Nebo. It's a headlamp, so it has the strap, but this also has the ability to come off of here. Has a little clip. You can clip this into a shirt or onto a backpack strap, and it's extremely bright. And it has two settings: a super bright setting and a dimmer setting. It is rechargeable, so that's the beauty of this one. Is rechargeable, and then it runs on little 12-volt lithium batteries that you can buy pretty rarely, almost in any store. And they last a very long time. The rechargeable lasts about 2 or 3 hours. The batteries, if you buy like the 12 volts, they'll last for about 12 to 15 hours. I've never had to test it because I've gotten a lot more than 2 hours out of this while I was using it. Let's just go right to left here. So I carry a little camera kit. So this is my camera cleaning kit here. This has a lens cleaning pen, a microfiber cloth, and some defog type stuff. And I usually throw an extra memory card in this as well. I've got, of course, spare batteries for the camera I'm using right now, which is the Sony a6000. That stays in my tank bag so I can quickly get a hold of it. And then, of course, I carry usually 2 or 3 micro USB cords, and I also carry, of course, a lightning port because I use an iPhone. So those are really important to have. So I carry a couple of these small pouches. They're just little zipper pouches, and so I carry chapstick, earplugs, and some lens cleaning wipes in one. In the other one, I'll carry all my electrical stuff. So I've got this is the charger for my Nebo headlamp, and this is a micro USB charger. I have a couple of those in here, and I even have a spare what they call these triple E EEE mounts for GoPro type stuff for mounting my cameras, and some other electrical stuff in there. So just some basic little electrical kit, and that just keeps this, considering these would be all over my tank bag, I just have these handy and quick, but they're organized that way. And then, of course, I have my med kit. I've showed you guys this in class. This is my IFAK, my individual first aid kit, and it has all your standard supplies. And if you'd like to see more about that information, I'll throw a thing up on the screen so you can get to that video, what I actually have in my IFAK. These here are a Milwaukee pair of needle nose pliers, and they are great because they kind of work. I found one pair of needle nose is not enough. Or at least one pair of pliers, because at least on my bike, a lot of the things that I need to use, I need to have 2 pair of pliers, one for each side of the screws or bolts. And so so I carry 2 pair, one in the form of these, which this is also my electrical. So you can see here there's a notch here. This actually has wire strippers, wire cutters, a place to cut wires and that, and they're just a really good sturdy set of pliers that I can work with. And they work for both for spreading as well as for clamping down. So things like circlips and stuff work really well with this. I've got of course, my slime micro pump. So for airing down tires or for repairing tires, these work great. For at least my DR650, this can blow a tire up in about 20 minutes from dead flat. And it's about 10 minutes to air it up if you're looking at something otherwise. But it just runs on the cigarette lighter power port. And then I have, of course, a tube repair kit. If I have the ability just to repair a tube, I'm going to do it. But I also ride with my kids a lot, so I have this for their bikes as well as for their motorcycles. And this just is your basic tube repair kit. And I've used this many times, refilled it many times. It's just a nice small package. I like carrying a set of Allen keys in this form rather than the individual ones. I don't lose them as easily. Of course, I'm going to carry a compass, and if you're familiar with how to use one of these, this is a really nice thing to have, because a lot of the places I ride, the mountains run in different directions, and so a compass is going to be really valuable. I carry a little pill bottle, and this has ibuprofen in it and usually a few aspirin in it as well. I don't really like acetaminophen or Tylenol. I don't really use it. It doesn't really affect me at all, but if I had somebody in my party that liked that, then I would carry that. But usually ibuprofen and some aspirin are really all I need. I carry a little bundle of zip ties, and I carry also a short piece of paracord just for funds. I also have a little bit longer piece of paracord that I usually carry as well if I'm going to go on a longer trip. That's usually I carry about 100 feet, maybe 50 feet, depending on what I'm doing. And then these wipes here, this is an anti-fog, optic fog wipe, and that's for both my shield on my helmet as well as for my glasses and my goggles. So this is the Motion Pro wrench, and this is a great little tool. It's got 8, 10, and 12, I think. Yeah, 8, 10, and 12 sockets on it. You pull the sockets off and you have an Allen key on there. And so that works pretty well. It covers most everything on my bike. I can usually work on it, and this is really easy to use. And of course I have my Leatherman. This is one of several Leatherman that I use. This is a fairly new one that I've got, and it works well. It's got of course the clippers on it, and it's a really sturdy pair. And it's got a nice sharp blades on it that I like. It's got both the serrated and the straight edge, as well as can openers and things like that on there, and screwdrivers. So just as a backup tool, that's a great one to have, and I can throw that on my belt if I'm fishing. I also carry a small little pocket knife because I'd always like to have a small one with me. I carry a small little one of these little flexible cheapo tripods, and the reason I use this one, I think these are about $4 on Amazon. I keep this kind because I lose these, and so I end up just trashing them or I break them. So cheap ones are a lot easier. If I ever got a really nice one, I'd probably lose it. So I just go with the cheap ones on those. I have a small roll of electrical tape always, just for whatever I need. I usually have a bunch of straps. I use rock straps, I use Dakine straps, and I use dry-out loop straps. So there's several different straps that I use, but I always like to have an extra couple to strap things on my bike. I also use these Velcro straps. These are cable tie straps. I usually have at least a half a dozen of those with me. And then I have this bolt kit, and if anybody's riding motorcycles, they know how valuable one of these bolt kits are. These are like $15 from just about any motorcycle dealership, or you can get them on Amazon or eBay or one of those. But you just get one for the Japanese bikes or for the European bikes. They're pretty much a standard kit for both of those, and it has a ton of good high quality hardware in there that you can use to replace. When we went to Moab, I lost 4 screws or 4 bolts overall. One in the fairing, one in the muffler pipe, and a couple on the sides that I completely lost. And then there was a few that shook loose. So I'm getting better about going through my bike and Loctiting everything, but this is really valuable if you don't do that. You've also got some washers here to work with too. So if you break something, you can actually fix it and fix it well. So I really like this kit, and I usually buy a new one, basically when I start using stuff out of this. Once I use about 10 or 12 things, I'll buy a new one and just replenish it and then have it there. But I keep it all in the Ziploc. You can see all the baggies are still in here and they're kind of hanging out. And the reason for that is so this doesn't rattle too much. I also carry an extra pair of mechanics gloves. These have got a bit of padding on them. They'll kind of be a replacement of some motocross gloves or riding gloves. They've got a little bit of protection on there, the impact mechanics gloves, and they work really well for just about anything you can imagine. All right, then I also carry this little baggie. Now this baggie has a whole bunch of stuff on it, and I have one of these little baggies in just about every backpack that I have, and they're really valuable. So they have a few granola bars in there, sometimes a power bar, usually some kind of candy. Like it looks like I've got some Airheads and maybe some Jolly Rancher type candy bars in here. I've got some toilet paper in there, and for some reason I have a little fishing float for fishing and that, and then I've got a lighter and some spare batteries. So this is just a little quick kit that I throw together, kind of a survival kit, but that'll get me through a day or so if I get stranded somewhere. And then I have my liners. So this is the rain liner for my Field Shear Quattro jacket, and then this is the thermal liner. So on my pants, I very rarely need anything more warm wise. I do have a liner for it, but I don't carry it on a regular basis. I do have have one of those packed up in one of these gallon Ziplocs, just to keep them clean and stuff. But you know, these are the thermal liners, and I usually carry these all year because I tend to ride in pretty high areas, ride places where it's pretty cold, even in the summertime. So, and then the final thing I carry in my bag pretty much all the time, because I'm usually going to find some fishing holes, is my fishing bag. And I've kind of gone over this, I think, once or twice before, but the fishing bag has lures here in the front. I also tend to throw some flies here if I'm doing fly fishing. I've got some fly floating there in the front. And then in the main bag here, I have a small fly box that I can throw on a belt if I want to carry this big bag. I've got some trail mix that I carry with me. I've got my spin reel, a fly reel. I've actually got some salmon eggs. I got these mainly for my kids, but I don't really use them. But if you get real desperate, then sometimes these will work. And then I've got some spare hooks and sinkers there if you want to use some rock crawlers or something like that. You know, or dig for worms. And then this has attached to it a pair of aluminum needle nose pliers, and these also clip line and stuff, and they're good for sinkers and stuff. And these are just a good basic kit. This is a Mustad brand clip, and it actually attaches to my bag, so I don't have to worry about losing it. And then I always have a spare fly box with me, and this is a nice small one I can throw in a pocket, and it's got a lot of my smaller flies in it, and so I can take that out and use that whenever I need it. So, all right, so that's the kit that I normally carry most of the time, or if not all the time, on my bike, and I'll be doing that in my tank bag, pannier bags, or tail bag, or in my tank panniers. So, hope you enjoyed this video. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. And if you have any questions, please leave them down in the description. I'd be happy to answer those. And if you have any suggestions for what else I should be carrying, we'd love to hear from you. So, hope you have a great day, and we'll see you on the trails.